Pressure, studying, scheduling, what is it? What is it that is the hardest to develop and to improve on and to have to be great at self-improvement? What is that hardest thing that everybody wants to have, and once they have it, they improve drastically? What is it? It is consistency. Consistency will beat want, will beat effort, will be anything you can think of. And I'll tell you exactly why. Because anything you want to develop, that could be those things I mentioned. Effort, you can develop effort. Scheduling, of course you can develop scheduling. That's pretty easy to start off with anyways. Learning, those, and even knowing, which comes from learning. All those things can be developed with consistency. Everything and anything can be developed with consistency. That's why it's so important. But it's also some of the hardest, not some of, it is the hardest thing to develop. So how can you be consistent? Well, first off, when you want to improve on something and be consistent with it, the best thing to do is just do things one at a time. Don't add everything on your plate at once, because you will not be consistent. You will not be consistent. Just like the gym, if you put all the weights on at once and you're a beginner, you're not lifting it. You're not lifting 225 on your first day in the gym. You need to gradually add weight as you go on and you progress. So that's the first thing. So if I want to learn more in terms of reading, but I also want to get in the gym, but I also want to, just fill in whatever you want there. Sure, you could do those things, but if you're just a beginner, if you're just starting off, you need to just put one thing in. And for those of you more experienced that probably do go to the gym, because I feel like that's mostly what guys are doing now. Going to the gym starts becoming fun, but once you go to the gym, that's like the end of your day. After that, you're scrolling on TikTok, just doing whatever you want. So that's why you need to be consistent. And once you get one thing, you need to add more things. So what I do, I go to the gym, but then I get home and then I make a video and I study for school and I read on my own time. But that all comes with consistency. And that's what you need to commit to. I actually have a little wall here of kind of quotes and stuff. Here I can shine a bit of light to make it better. But the one that I like a lot is this one. Commit to what you can control, not the outcome. And what does that mean? Commit to what you can control. Okay, so I can commit to gaining 10 pounds of muscle in my first year in the gym. Or I can commit to going to the gym 5 days a week. Because that's what I can control. I can control how consistent I am with something. I can't control what the result is. I can highly influence it by what I do. If I eat right and I go to the gym 5 times a week doing the right exercises for 9 months straight, I have a very, very high chance of gaining 10 pounds of muscle. So, just like it says, you need to commit to what you can control. And it sounds stupid when you think of it because it's a bit of a cliche thing to say. But when you realize what it means, when your goals are now, instead of achievement-oriented, they're commitment-oriented, you'll go a lot farther. You'll go a lot further. And you can track it now. It's much easier to track. If you went wrong, you know exactly where you went wrong. Because you could see, oh, I missed these days, I missed those days. So I can track where I went wrong and where I can improve. So not only can you track it better, but you can do everything better. You can be more sustainable and efficient in what you do if you do the hardest thing in terms of self-improvement, which is consistency. If you look at anyone who is doing great in life, if you look at anyone who you look up to and you want to achieve what they achieve, the one thing they always do is are consistent. They wake up, they get to work. They wake up, they get to work, they go to the gym, they have a schedule that is packed with things that they do every single day. They're consistent every single day. That's why they are where they are. And you gotta realize now, you gotta put yourself in that mindset and think, if I am consistent with this thing every day, where will I be in 1 year? Think about that. If I am consistent with this every day, where will I be in 1 year? And of course, I'm not saying not set achievement goals, because that helps you stay motivated. But when you track down the things you do every day, you have a little checklist, of the things you want to do every day. You're way more likely to be excited to check off that one thing than to find the small spurts of motivation that you get from seeing, oh, I want to get 10 pounds by the end of the year. Because you're thinking, it can wait. But when you have a little list, I actually used to, I don't know where I put it, but I did have a list. I haven't actually used it in a while, so I'm being a bit of a hypocrite. But it had things I had to achieve every day. And it's just a little checklist, simple. I had 5 things. But for you, I would suggest 1 or 2 things every day. Just check them off. And it can be as simple as just cold shower in the morning and gym in the afternoon. That's it. Just 2 things to check off. And when you're that consistent, it's way more easy to build up habits in the future, because you know how to get there. You know how to achieve it. And I mean, when you start to achieve and you start to advance like you've seen none of your friends do ever before, you're going to be very grateful. Trust me. Consistency is the hardest thing, but it's also the reason why it's the hardest, and the reason why the best have it is because it's the hardest to develop. So that's why they achieve what they achieve, and the others stay where they are. Thank you for watching. Work hard.